Bless you.
Hey YouTubers, Raven here.
Starfire.
And today we're talking about Supergirl!
Season 6, Episode 5, Prom Night, Part
1. So, yeah. Basically, I said this when we were watching the show. It got to like 36 minutes in, and I was like, how are we only this far? Like, it seems like it should be, like, closer to the end.
Yeah.
And, like, I looked over her, and I was like, I can't decide if that's because I'm enjoying myself or I am bored.
I mean, I wasn't bored necessarily.
Right.
It just was very, like,
Mm-hmm.
dragged out.
Yeah.
It wasn't that it was a boring episode or that it
No.
was bad.
Right.
I mean, there was a lot of great things in it.
Yeah. Well,
But-
when I said bored, I didn't necessarily
Yeah.
mean bored. I just didn't have a very good descriptive word.
Right.
But yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it had cool stuff.
It did. I loved when Alex interacted with Kat.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you really saw the, like, older Alex kind of coming through in the actress's portrayal of Alex. I was like, oh my gosh, I love that.
I just think that they, like, with the casting, I think they did a really good job of Kat and Alex and Kara.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think all of them really fit for the younger versions of them. And even though Kat wasn't Callista Flockhart, it was still a good portrayal.
Yeah.
I just miss Callista's Kat.
I know.
I really miss her.
Me too.
Like,
we need to bring Kat back. Please, it's the final season.
One appearance.
Yes.
One. I don't care how we see her. I don't care how long of a scene it is. I just want to see her again.
Yes.
Harrison Ford, push your wife to come on Supergirl.
Yes.
But yeah, I know the reasons behind why she didn't stay and all that, and I understand. But like, you know, it is the final season. It would just be nice to see her again, just as like a guest appearance or a cameo or something. Like
right.
That. So
yeah, I mean, she made cameos in her last season. You know.
Yeah.
Like with the president, because the president was an alien.
Linda Carter.
Yes. Wonder Woman is an alien posing as the president.
I just liked Linda Carter being there. I didn't care. I was like,
right.
She's so iconic in the DC universe, you know? Like, it was just so great to see her on there.
Yes. I loved that she was the president.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
And I also think it's cool, but I've said this multiple times, that what's her name? Helen Slater, I think, plays Alex and Kara's mom, and she was Supergirl in the movie they did in the 80s. So,
and then you had Dean playing
and then you had
Kara's
Dean Cain
dad.
playing Jeremiah, and he was Superman or Clark Kent in the Lois and Clark show. And, you know, and then Terry Hatcher was on it, and she was on Lois and Clark, and so it's just really cool.
And then they brought
Lois
from Smallville, you know. So, and that they actually brought Smallville onto the show, you know, like.
Yeah.
I love how they're paying homage.
All they needed to do was freaking bring on, like, Annette O'Toole, or, like, you know,
one of the original Lexes. That would have been hilarious.
Yeah. Although John Cryer is just, you know.
OP, amazing.
I wish he was the OG Lex, but I'm also glad he's not the OG Lex, because he can rejuvenate Lex for, you know,
the
new generation.
Yeah.
And
he actually made me enjoy Lex past the cartoon.
So good.
Right?
Just the mannerisms and the snarkiness, and I just love it.
He reminds me so much of the cartoon version.
He's
it's
so
amazing.
Good.
Yes, I want President Lex.
Like, oh.
He makes me want President
If I
Lex.
ever meet him, I will be like, you are the best Lex Luthor of any Lex Luthor. You're awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Like, I know that we got President Lex in Smallville,
Mm-hmm.
you know, for a little bit, like, an alternate future timeline or whatever. But, like, this man wants me, like, he makes me want to see a full-on just President Lex Luthor.
Like, he plays Lex as a villain the way that you want a villain to be.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that villain where you just love to hate them because they're so good.
Yes.
Like, they're so bad, and they're so snarky, and they're just so perfect as the villain that you hate them so much, but you also love them at the same time.
Like Rumple when he was evil.
Oh.
It's like Rumple when he was evil all over again, and I love it
He's
so
like
much.
the ultimate love to hate villain for me right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's just,
yes.
Love it. Same with Mark Pellegrino on Supernatural. He was the best Lucifer, in my opinion. He was hilarious. He was snarky. I loved that about him.
Perfection as
He was
evil.
perfection as Lucifer.
Mm-hmm.
And I will miss him dearly.
Yes. Yes. One of the only shining stars in the last couple of seasons.
Every time he was on it, I'm like, this is going to be a great episode.
He's the only thing that made it watchable. After they killed off my favorite character. Like,
because, I mean, the way he played him, it was so good.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I haven't watched Lucifer, and I haven't seen Mark Ellis play him, but for me, Mark Pellegrino is Lucifer.
Yeah.
So,
he's the ultimate Lucifer that doesn't fall in love, okay? Yes, I've seen the gifs out there.
Oh, I've seen all the Lucifer gifs.
Right.
If you're on Tumblr, you see them.
Yes.
But I've learned about so many shows I don't watch because of Tumblr. Like,
I
legit.
can understand.
Legit. Some of them I've started watching because of Tumblr. Others I've just seen on there, don't care about, but I've seen them because I'm on there.
Right.
So, you know.
But yeah, you know. Like,
I don't go on there as regularly as I used to, but I still see them from time to time.
You also don't have so much free time as we used to.
Yeah. But I still look on, scroll it and...
Yeah. But yeah, so it's just like, this man is like Lex incarnate, and I would sell my soul to this Lex.
Like, seriously, I cannot say enough good things about him.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want this to become a review that's just all about Lex.
When it wasn't even in the episode.
But, John Cryer.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
I'm so glad that he ended up staying longer than he was supposed to stay, too.
Yeah.
Because it was only supposed to be a really short thing.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, he wanted to be a part of the crossover. And then ever since, he's just continued to, like, have story and be a part of it and continue. And I'm like, yes.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I think he's enjoying... He doesn't really get to play evil.
No.
And I
think he's really enjoying
He's enjoying playing...
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he's not just evil. Like, he's smart, intelligent
That
evil.
is the best kind of villain.
Exactly.
That is what you want to see in a villain on a TV show or a movie. You want to see that cunningness and that cleverness and that snarky, sarcastic... Oh!
Yes.
I just eat it up. Like, it's amazing.
Are you okay?
It didn't even hurt.
Really?
Yeah.
It sounded like it did.
Like,
she elbowed her bed frame.
Nope, it's fine. But seriously.
She got so excited talking about Jack
Like, it's just, I eat it up. Like, I love that kind of stuff. I love when they do those things and act that way. Like, that's what I want to see in a villain when I'm watching something.
Exactly.
Because if they're just, like, if they just do stuff that's annoying and they don't really like have redemption and they don't really like, I don't know.
I don't see Lex ever getting redemption.
Well, no, I know, but I'm just saying, like, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
There's those villains that are just kind of and then there's those ones that are just, like, so good and so perfect. And, like, even, freaking Hades on Hercules is animated, but he's one of my favorite Disney villains.
Mm-hmm.
I love his sarcasm.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. Yeah, if looking at, like, animated stuff, like...
Heck, I even like Scar, and he kills his own brother.
Like, if I look at, like, animated stuff, I go straight to DC animated shows. Yeah. And, I mean, because I consider anime different. Yes, it's animated, but, that's a discussion.
It's different.
Very.
Yeah.
And, like, I go straight to DC, because it's my favorite animation.
Yeah.
And it's my favorite, like, cartoon stuff, just DC in general.
Right.
And... I mean, I'm not saying I don't watch other stuff, because I do, so don't jump at me. But the version of Lex you get on Justice League or on any of the DC stuff that I've seen, because the ones I've seen are the ones I like. There's certain Batman episode shows that I don't like, and certain, like, Green Lantern Corps. No. But, like, the Lexes that I have seen, especially in Justice League when we get there, like, Brainiac is amazing. You'll love it. And you'll see, like, what Brainiac was supposed to be.
I'm excited.
When, like, we first met in, like, season 2 of Supergirl.
Yeah.
You'll see what Brainiac is supposed to be. And, I mean, we don't get Brainiac.
Well, we saw Brainiac on Smallville, right?
Yes.
James Marsters.
Yes, he was good, but I expected more because I know what Brainiac's capable of.
Yeah. And you know what James Marsters is capable of. He was freaking Spike.
Yes. So I was a little let down by Smallville. So that should, give you an idea of what Brainiac is good for. But, like, Brainiac and Lex are, like, the two that I go to.
Yeah.
And those are, like, the best villains in animation.
I like the Brainy that's on Supergirl.
Yeah, Brainiac and Brainy are different.
Oh, okay.
Like, Brainy is basically, consider him 7 of 9.
Okay.
And then the entire other, like, the Borg race, right?
Yeah, the Borg Collective.
Yes, the Borg Collective. The Collective is, like, evil and bitchy to everyone else, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's Brainiac.
Well, they're not necessarily evil. They don't consider themselves evil. They consider what they're doing, assimilating, is gaining technology from those races so that they can become this all-powerful collective.
Brainiac considers everything that's not him or electronic or that he can possess lower than him and will destroy it all.
So it's basically similar.
Yeah. If he can't like assimilate you, you're dead. Yeah. Like that's what it is.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Because I know on the cast thing for Jesse Rath it says he is Brainiac 5, but
yeah. But everyone calls him Brainy.
Yeah.
Like that's just that's how that is. That's how that works. Brainiac 5 is Brainy. That's the thing.
Yeah.
So
like 7 of 9 is 7.
Mhm. Yeah. They call her 7, but she's 7 of 9.
Tertiary adjunct of whatever. I don't know the full name. I forgot. Because she always goes by 7, so I forget.
Right. Like, I'm pretty sure Brainy has a whole numeral system that's his actual name.
Yeah. Because
he's part of the Brainiac Collective, but he broke away.
Yeah.
But he should have some, like, numerical. Yeah, like, for a name.
Right.
You know, or whatever.
No, I understand.
But, you know.
Yeah.
So. But yeah, Brainiac and Lex are my favorite supervillains. And, I mean, I don't know most supervillains. Those are the two that I've been mainly introduced to. So those are the two that I flash onto.
I mean, Regina was a great villain, too.
Yes. but I never really considered her a true villain.
Yeah.
Because she was always looking for redemption.
Right.
And so if you're a villain that's constantly seeking redemption, you're not a villain.
Yeah. But Rumple was.
Yes, he was never seeking redemption. And then he met Belle and was like, fuck, I fell in love. I'm evil and soulless and I fell in love.
Yes. I have a book that's basically a Beauty and the Beast retelling, and it's called Cruel Beauty. And the female character is supposed to kill this like king or whatever, but ends up like falling for him. And yeah, it's good.
Nice.
The ending's a little weird, but the story was good.
Good. But yeah, so this episode we time traveled.
We did to 2009.
Yes.
When we graduated
Graduation
high school.
Alex was in college.
Nia was the age in 2009 that it's been since we graduated.
They did that on purpose. They did. I mean, not to get at us, but they did. I mean, there's a hilarity to that
because it's been 12 years since 2009,
and she was 12 in 2009.
And she was 12 in 2009.
They did that on purpose. So to make a laugh at the fact that it has been 12 years, you know, they did that on purpose. I wish she would have been able to contact her mom.
Me too.
I think she needs that closure.
She does. What happened to her mom again?
She died.
Did they really go into detail about that?
Yeah. She was there.
Okay.
Yeah, it was in the 2-episode arc where Kara left with her to go talk to her mom about her sleeping problems. And the sister found out that she had the powers, and the whole thing about the sister being bitchy because she's not a real girl, so she shouldn't get the powers. Right. It's like, she's a real girl, bitch, back off.
Does Nia go... I don't know, does the actress who plays Nia go by they? Is it she, they, for the pronouns?
I don't know.
Because I know a lot of trans people use the they program.
Right, I think...
the they pronouns.
I think...
Because I just want to be correct with them,
right.
So that's why.
I'm pretty sure... I'm pretty sure they go by she.
She and they, probably.
Or
her, she.
I think it's her and she.
Okay.
I think she prefers female pronouns.
Okay.
I'm
just,
because I'm pretty sure that's when they introduced her.
I want to be respectful of that.
Right. I'm pretty sure when they introduced her at Comic-Con, like, they kept calling her and she.
Okay. Because I know that she'd correct them if it
she
if
would.
They weren't the right ones.
Yes.
So that's why I just wanted to check and see.
Right.
Because I know non-binary people usually go by they.
Yeah.
And yeah. So.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's she, her.
My cousin is becoming male from female. And they're transitioning.
Would they prefer they or he?
I don't know. I will have to ask them.
Or both.
Or both. Probably both, but I don't know.
Well, that's interesting.
Yeah. It was
don't...
Jessica, but they go by Jessie now.
I don't personally know anyone who's made the transition. I do have a friend on the internet who has.
Yeah.
But I love that that it focused, like, Brainy's story focused on his, like, stress level and how to deal with that. And then Nia's is, like, more like, I need to let loose and connect with people. And she's, like, connecting with Kara on levels. Yeah. But there's one thing that's getting to me. And it's getting to me because Kara hasn't realized it yet. And that's Nia looks over at her, and says, use your frost breath on the rear axle.
But she didn't show that to Nia.
No, so Nia should not know that she has frost breath because young Kara never showed it to her. So in young Kara's mind, Nia should not know. Oh, I'm sorry, Brenda should not know.
I don't know if that was a play on Beverly Hills 90210, but even if it wasn't, I loved that they went by Brenda and Brandon.
I think it's because that's what they watched as a couple.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think that was one of the shows they were binging as a couple.
Mm.
Like on their downtime in Nia's room.
Well, because Brandon and Brenda are brother and sister on the show.
Well,
they're supposed to be twins.
Yeah, but like
Shannon Doherty and Jason Priestley are supposed to be twins. Brandon and Brenda Walsh.
Yeah.
On 90210.
But like, I mean, because like they weren't introducing themselves as a couple,
right?
And so they didn't want to.
No, like, I know. But
it would kind of alienate them from.
No,
the team,
I know.
So.
I know. I'm just saying that it just on the show they're actually brother and sister.
Right.
Dylan,
I mean, and right now they're not even a couple.
Yeah. If it had been Dylan and Brenda, Luke Perry and Shannon, then I would have been like, okay,
right,
couple vibes,
right,
but, yeah.
But also, they're not exactly acting like a couple.
They're
right
not.
Now.
They're not.
They're in an in between stage.
Yeah.
But
I still thought that was cool.
Yeah.
I was like, Brandon and Brenda, oh my gosh.
It's because she was gonna say Brainiac or Brainy or something.
Yeah.
And. Yeah. Like, Kara would know that name. So, it wasn't so she got herself just in time because Kara would know that, and that wouldn't be okay. Because that would be a huge influence in the past.
It was like on Back to the Future 3 when he was going to say that his name was Marty, and then he's like, Eastwood. Clint Eastwood.
But yeah, just it's.
And you were happy about Peter
Sidarso. Yes. Yes, like a couple minutes into this episode, I was like, look up the Asian boy. If his name's Peter Sidarso, I'm gonna freak out. And it was, and I freaked out. And like, because oh my gosh, like this, look up if you enjoyed this actor and you enjoy him in the next episode too, look up the announcement of him at Comic-Con as the Blue Ranger and look at the story that goes with it. Oh my gosh, so touching. Of course, it was one of the worst seasons, in my opinion, that he was on, but...
He was only on one season?
Ninja Steel, Super Ninja Steel. Those are two different seasons, but it's the same team. Personally, I consider the Ninja Steel and Super Ninja Steel, or Samurai and Super Samurai, the same season, because they're the same team, they're doing the same thing, going against the same villain, it's just they get better powers in the next season, which is bullshit. They could do it all in one season, or they could make a different series with different people, or whatever, explain shit better, but...
Aw, they have it!
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes.
17 minutes.
Yeah. So look that up. Watch it. It is worth watching.
It's only like a few minutes, that part of it, right?
Yeah, the rest of it's, I think, probably like him.
But when does it happen in the video? Is it at the beginning?
I think it's at the end.
At the end?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it explains that his brother was the Ranger before him as the Blue Ranger on Dino Charge. And he was the Blue Ranger. And they both wanted to be Rangers, but he got the job. And then he told his brother that he didn't get the job for Ninja Steel. And his brother was reading off the name of the next Blue Ranger, and it was him. And, like, everyone in the audience, but, like, everyone just felt that moment. You know? Even I felt it. Every time I watch it, I feel it. So it's just, like, you guys should watch it.
Oh, no, it's at the beginning, it looks like, on this.
Yeah, so it's good, and you should watch it later. But yeah, So totally watch it. I love watching him. If the Kitty's Power Rangers isn't your thing, totally watch Hyperforce on YouTube or Twitch, whatever. You'd love it. If Power Rangers used to be your thing, I guarantee you would love Hyperforce. Please go watch it. Yeah.
And the only Power Rangers thing that I've
version.
seen is the movie that came out in like 2017.
It's more adult, the Hyperforce, and it gets better as time goes on.
Did you see the movie that came out?
Yes. I loved what they did with Trini's character. I'm sad that they're not continuing it.
I liked it.
I love that they went a different way and that it fit her character, that they made her not straight. So I think that kind of turned off some people from letting their kids watch it.
Whatever.
But fucking hell, who gives a shit? It's TV. It's a movie. Get off your high horse.
And it's nice for people, especially young people that are probably questioning and struggling with their identities, to be able to see a character that they really like, especially a superhero, that is like them.
Yeah.
Because then they'll feel represented. And so, those types of things are especially important because for a long time, most of, those orientations and different races were not represented as much in the media. And now that they are starting to be that way, it's just helping these people to really feel like they have something that they can relate to.
Yeah.
And that they see themselves in the movies and in the TV shows and in those characters.
Yeah.
And so...
Because they can be heroes too.
Exactly. And it's like with Into the Spider-Verse. Any of them could wear the suit. It didn't matter which one of them it was. They all were special in their own right.
And they were all Spider-Man.
Miles was awesome. And, Spider-Gwen and the other Spider-Mans, Peter Parker.
The anime Spider-Man, the Spider-Woman,
and
Spider-Girl.
everything. Like, that movie.
Yeah.
I loved that movie.
Right.
But yeah, so it's just important to see that. So.
Yeah. So, it's just, I love that they did that. And I hope that when Hasbro makes their movies, they continue that. Not necessarily with that same character,
Yeah.
But, they bring that out.
I loved how they hid the spaceship. Because it totally made me think of Star Trek 4, where, like, they had to park the ship, the Enterprise, and Kirk was like, everybody remember where we parked? Because they had to cloak it to make it invisible. And, yeah.
That's a whole thing with Diana's invisible jet. Because Wonder Woman has an invisible jet. And so that's the whole thing with that, is that she, like, everybody else always has to remember where she parks. She just inherently knows.
Yeah.
Flash sometimes runs into it. It's hilarious.
Like, in the animated one?
Yeah.
Oh. Well, because, Flash on Justice League is hilarious.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so, because the fourth movie takes place in the 80s, they have to make it invisible and cloak it so nobody sees it. And so Kirk is like, remember where we parked?
Right.
As they're walking away.
Just like in Legends of Tomorrow, where they cloaked it.
Yeah.
And, like, you hear the ding-ding, and then, like, they walk away and someone just goes, remember where we parked?
Oh, yeah, there's all the Star Trek references in Legends of Tomorrow.
Yes. But I love that they parked it under the baseball, under the diamond, because, like, what that reminds me of is X-Men, when their jet was parked under the basketball court. So, like, the court would always, like come back, and then the plane would hover and go. Or, like, the Thunderbirds movie, they were always parked, like, under the pools or whatever, and then they'd shoot out. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. I liked the Thunderbird movie. It didn't do very well. It did horrible.
Yeah.
But I liked it.
We all like what we like.
Yeah. But yeah, like, I enjoyed this episode.
It was fun. I liked all the references and all the like fun stuff related to time travel and to 2009, and you know, even though I didn't say most of those expressions like totes and what's up,
Yeah, I didn't do that. I think I did that when I was being stupid.
I didn't even really do that.
I mean, just when I was like, you know, being stupid, like nah, or whatever. I'm like, what's up?
I never really used a lot of the
slang,
current slang that was popular during that time.
But Flossie, the fuck?
That's an actual word that.
Yeah, but that wasn't slang back then.
I know, that was weird.
At least not where we are.
Well, I know faux shizzle was popular.
Oh, shizzle, yeah, and then like we discussed last week, it turned into something else.
Yo. Yeah, I typically didn't do that. I was kind of just. I don't know. I had friends in high school and everything, but I wasn't like really up with all that kind of stuff.
Right. Yeah. I wasn't either. But like, you know, just.
But I know people who said those things.
Right.
Especially totes.
Yeah.
I'm just like. Even when I would text people, like, I didn't use the shortened words or, like, any of those slang words. I would always type out the full word, the full sentence, punctuation, like, I
mean, I use, like, you know, I've always used text speak, but it took me a while to learn it. Because
text speak is annoying for me because I always forget to tell it to say, to put a period. So when I'm doing it, it doesn't have any of the punctuation, and it's just this long, like, paragraph with no punctuation.
You know, as a text, it doesn't bother me. As a text, no punctuation doesn't bother me.
Oh, that bothers me. Because if I'm reading it, and there's no punctuation, it's, like, all jumbled together for me.
I'll try because
there's no stops. There's no end of the thought. It just seems like it's just all one thing.
Right.
Like, normally if you were talking, you would have pauses. And the period and the commas are supposed to be those pauses in the text.
Right.
And so it makes it seem like it's more like you're actually saying it when you put those things in.
Okay. Then I'll try to remember that if I ever send you something long.
You don't... It's not you that I have the issue with. It's Sarah that does that.
I hope.
Whenever she'll post something like on social media, she'll do that. No. And I'm like, I can't. Like, why is your grammar so bad? Why is your spelling so bad?
Because she doesn't pay attention during anything.
Like, it's just, I can't.
Yeah.
You're a freaking preschool teacher. You should know how to spell correctly.
Yes.
Yeah. Although it is something that I've read that extroverts, people that are like more outgoing and stuff, tend to not really care about those kinds of mistakes that they make in like text, whereas introverts are a lot more like specific and detailed and like it bothers them.
See, if it's going out on social media, then I pay attention to my shit.
Like it's way more.
But if it's between friends, I don't care.
It's way more like.
If I'm texting my pastor or his wife, yes, like, I am making sure everything's correct.
Like, it's way more annoying for somebody who, like, you know, like me, but, like, an extrovert, they're just, they make mistakes and they don't care. They won't put, like, the little type, like, they made a mistake and, like, fix it.
Right.
They'll just leave it.
No.
Because they don't care.
No. I was texting my friend Jake earlier, and I meant to put shit and I put shot. I'm like, nope, shit. Like, I would like, nope, it was supposed to say shit. Like,
yeah, but that's autocorrect's fault.
Yes, but like
a lot of the mistakes I make are just because my phone has it a certain way in there, and it autocorrects it and messes it up. Because I know how to spell that word. I'm just like, what? Why'd you do that? You know?
Right.
So.
But, you know, like, even if it takes, like, a few hours for
if
me
it's just short stuff, I don't really care. Yeah. But if it's, like, a long paragraph and there's no punctuation, I'm going to be like, this is giving me a headache.
Yeah.
So.
I can see that. But, yeah, so I enjoyed the, like, covering and the Brendan thing.
Yeah.
And the sharing of powers was really cute.
Mm-hmm.
And I love how protective Alex is.
Yeah.
And I love that she blew up at her.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, I hated it when it happened, yes. And I was like, fuck, can't you just be sisters for once? Like,
yeah.
I mean, like, they are in the future, yes. But, like, we keep hearing all these things about their past and, like, how they didn't get along. Like, I mean, they got along, but Alex always felt lesser and, like, she was always forced to give up her life for Kara.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, you know, so she resented Kara for most of the
Mhm.
childhood. And, like, now, like, you can see that. Like,
right.
When we saw the past last time, you know, we didn't see them fighting over this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we saw them, like, I mean, we saw Alex get yelled at by her dad for not being careful with Kara.
Mm-hmm.
But we didn't see them arguing with each other or getting into a fight with each other.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we saw Kara go into Alex, comfort her, and then they went flying together. Like, you know, it's like, oh, Kara was there for her. But, like, this time it's like, no, bitch. Like, I don't let you have it. You know?
Yeah.
Like, I was planning on going to Europe this year, and you fucking messed it up because I have to be here for you. Like, yeah. Just always take care of Kara. It's never about me.
Yeah.
You know, I was waiting for that, and I was so happy we got that. Like, yeah.
I mean, you know, it's hard having to always do things for other people and always take care of your sister or the other person and not give yourself anything.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and yeah, it was very genuine to be able to see that frustration from Alex because yes, she cares about Kara because she's her sister, but she doesn't like the fact that she always has to be her protector.
Yeah, and she has to give everything up for her.
Yeah, and sacrifice everything for her. Mm-hmm. And so, you know, I think that was just really getting to her because she's like, this was something I really wanted and I had to give it up because I had to protect you.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so.
Yeah.
I wonder if Kara's actually going to tell Kenny about the college thing.
I don't know.
After all that he did for her.
I know. It was so sweet. Low-key, I was expecting more, but I don't know what I was expecting. Like, yeah. Nah, it's just like a barn. It's like they took the Smallville barn and planted it here. Like,
I thought it was cute.
It was adorable. The stump that they had their first kiss on.
And they had their initials.
That
was cute.
Yeah, she's like, oh, this is the stump where we had our first kiss. He's like, that's the stump where you changed my life. I'm like, fucking shit, man! Like, are you trying? Like, is this your idea of a proposal? Like, holy hell! Like, you're dropping this shit on her. Like, here's where we're gonna spend the rest of our life fighting crime. This is the stump that you changed my life. It's the stump where we had you changed my life. Like,
it's the stump where we had our first kiss, and that was when you changed my life. Because I don't think he said it was a stump that changed his life. I think he added on when she said that it was a stump where we had our first kiss, and he's like, yeah, and that changed my life.
Mm-hmm. Right. So basically saying that it was, you know, not the stump that changed his life, but it was the stump where the event happened that changed his life.
Right.
Therefore, I mean, technically
where the kiss
speaking,
happened that changed his life.
Yeah. So therefore, that's the stump.
A life-changing kiss.
Yes. But yeah, just I don't know. I can't.
There's not really a lot to talk about necessarily.
No.
But I liked how modern the college and the high school looked though, with like the computers and like all of that.
I mean,
it looked way more modern than freaking 2009.
Nah, my computer labs were, you know.
I mean, they kind of look like that, but not as nice.
But I mean, I was also in a newer high school than you.
Yeah, and not as spread out.
Yeah. Yeah. So we probably had more up to date.
Oh, probably, yeah. My high school was old.
Yeah, my dad went to your high school.
Yeah, because it's been there since the 70s.
Yeah. Mine's been there since, 2009, 2008, 2000, probably 06, 07? Because we were the first seniors. We went there.
I think it was 2006.
We were the first sophomores.
Because remember the first year, was just going to be at Bayer and then, my high school. And then after that, we were going to have to go to Enox, but I stayed at Bayer. I think it was 06, yeah. Yeah. I will look it up and see.
So, we had more modern stuff. But, I do think that it was a little too modern for a rinky-dink town like Midvale. Mm-hmm. But, it's TV. Yeah. You just gotta give it to them. Mm-hmm. I mean, that, and they had, the science program that their mom, mm-hmm. Was participating in. Mm-hmm. So, it does kind of make sense for the fact that, their mom was known for
2006.
Doing mm-hmm. all these big scientific things. So I guess I could understand why the science lab would be more high tech because it's probably a more scientific town. Mm-hmm. So they probably focus a lot more on the sciences. Mm-hmm. So the things that we would consider probably not the things that would get updated the fastest in our schools would get updated faster in that town because they focus more on science.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 2006.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, because it was a STEM lab, which means that, it's definitely a STEM school.
Yeah.
So it's science, technology, engineering, math.
Mm. But yeah, so,
I'm surprised I remembered that.
Right.
And then they also have STEAM, which incorporates the arts into it. So, you have,
the A is the arts.
Yeah.
You said STEAM and my mind went right to gaming.
Well, yeah. But there's STEM and there's STEAM. And so, that's, the STEAM is the way of, them integrating the arts into those particular subjects. So.
But, yeah. I think that was, you got the blue dudes and they got captured at the end.
Who are still wanted in our time.
Because they fucked up the past.
Technically Mia fucked up the past by calling her mom.
Calling her mom wouldn't have affected whether or not they got caught in Africa 2 months later.
Okay. Yeah.
But I think their interference and them being connected to Kara now mm-hmm. is what affected that.
Yeah.
If they weren't seen with Kara by these two blue men, then they wouldn't have evaded capture or whatever. Their mm-hmm. presence there made the blue guys' future change. Mm-hmm. I don't think it's going to change very much because Kara's going to go kick their ass next episode, as we saw in the preview. Yeah. So looking forward to that.
I wonder how old the actress is who's playing Kara, because if Peter Sidarso is 30, mm-hmm. I'm wondering how old she is.
Right.
She looks pretty young.
She does. She looks adorably cute. Mm-hmm. She's perfect for Kara. I love it.
That's what I'm saying. The casting was really well.
Yeah.
It was really good for that.
I low-key kind of wish that we would do, that we would get to, see Kara's past. Mm-hmm. A lot more, as a TV show, like we got to see Clark, mm-hmm. Smallville. I wish we would get, a Supergirl version of Clark, of, mm-hmm. Smallville. I think that would be interesting if we followed the story of this version.
She was born in 2001.
She's 20.
She's 20. No, she'll be 20 on May 27th.
She's not even 20 yet.
She's 19.
She's 19. She's a hell younger
and young
than
Alex
Peter.
is this person.
How old is she?
It doesn't say. There's no year for her.
Oh well. But yeah.
She is best known for her work as a series regular on the Netflix hit series The Society, and for her recurring arc on Supergirl.
She's best known for Society? Okay, sure. But her recurring arc on Supergirl? Yeah. She's been in, what, 4 episodes
She's
now?
Probably like 24, 25.
Probably.
She looks about that age.
Yeah. But, anyways, yeah, it was I enjoyed that. I enjoyed the chemistry between Alex and Kara.
Wait, so they actually were 12 in 2009. Because Nicole Maines was born in 1997.
Okay, I'm not even going to consider this right now. I'd rather not feel ancient.
I have a cousin who was born in 1997. And then her sister was born in 1994.
That's better.
Yeah.
But, yeah, just... I enjoyed the chemistry between all the younger actors, and I loved how, like, I really enjoyed the chemistry between young Kara and Nia.
Yeah.
And between,
young Kara and young Alex.
Yes. But I also really enjoyed, I can't remember his name, so Peter's character and
Kenny.
Kenny.
His name is Kenny.
Kenny.
Kara and Kenny.
Okay. I keep thinking Kevin, and I know that's wrong, so I'm not saying the name.
Kevin?
Yeah, I don't know why. So...
Kevin's not here.
So Kenny and Brainy, you know, I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, that was good. I'm excited to see what happens next week.
Yes, when Kara saves the day in her prom dress. That's the side of Kara we've never seen before. I am I want to see. Okay, they need to bring Peter back later when they save Kara. We need to see. I before the series is over, what I need to see is Kenny, the old barn, and the stump. I need them to meet. Like, I don't need them to be together. I need to know what happened between them. I mean, obviously, she tells him she's going to the other college. Okay? But just because they probably break up from that. Because of everything. Whether or not they break up or not. Like, why is he not in her life anymore? I understand that this version of Kara, like, came from a universe where Kenny died. Okay. But Kenny's still alive now. Like, he's still there. So, what happened? Like, where did their relationship veer off?
Hopefully they address that. I don't know
right?
if they will.
Yeah, I need to know what happened to Kenny.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, if William is the end game for Kara, then...
I don't care if William is.
Yeah.
Like, I like him well enough.
He's fine.
So, and he's decently attractive.
Yeah.
So, you know what? Sure.
As long as Kara's happy, I'm fine with it.
I just want to know what happened to Kenny.
Yeah. Hopefully we see it. I don't know if we will, but it would be nice, because it would be nice to see him again.
Yes.
For you.
Yes.
I mean, I liked what I saw of him, but I'm just saying, you know, for you, it's more special.
It is. Yes. So,
yeah.
I guess
until next time, love yourself and be happy.